Hello, and welcome to Subconscious Sundays. I am one of your gracious hosts, Reverend April Kling Meyer, and with me is my bestie, the hypnotherapist Timothy Freeman. Hello, Tim.
Hello. Welcome, everybody.
And we have a very excellent, very heartfelt topic for you today. It is the home or our home beyond, which we can't really know for sure what that's like and what it's about, but everyone on earth has some kind of idea of we what we existed in before we got here and where we go when we leave this life on earth, when we die. So I think that a lot of our perceptions on this are colored by our spiritual and religious beliefs. But a lot of people, such as myself, and definitely I speak for Tim as well when I say that there are people like us who are seekers of the unknowable, the great mystery. And those among us who consider ourselves the seeker of the great mystery, we like to think that we have a lot of ideas of the answers to the unanswerable questions, and this is definitely one of those. What do you think, Tim?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think everybody does have a thought about what this is, and it varies greatly, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the truth is, nobody really experiences that we might have that give us a glimpse of knowing. That might go all the way from like feeling a loved one that's passed with us, with experience, right?
Right. So I turned this question over to our audience on Facebook.
Before
And
we
as
do
you,
that, let's
oh,
cover
yeah,
some. Let's cover
of
two little
course.
items about our show that we like to share with you guys every single time before we dive
Yes.
right in here. So we've got a few just intentions that we like to present here at the beginning of the show.
Absolutely.
This is this to be a laid back way for us all to gather, a fun and entertaining way to discuss some topics that are sometimes huge like this and sometimes heavy.
And we want it to remain open and inviting. We welcome all of you who have questions or ideas to respectfully bring those into the conversation because, as we just mentioned before, in this particular topic, you probably won't find two people with the same idea of what our home beyond is like.
And then this is also a weekly ritual for us and you all who are joining us regularly. Thank you. It's awesome to have you with us. We like to gather our shared community in a virtual sacred space here to share our knowledge and hear limited knowledge. Everybody has a little limited knowledge on this topic, but we would love to hear your responses too.
Yeah, there's wisdom in admitting that our knowledge is limited. And then our core values for this are to be respectful of everyone's individual journey, to stay rooted in compassion for ourselves and others, to promote growth and expansion, and of course, to create a supportive community. And that's why you're here. And we are so glad that you are. So thank you.
So I heard we
Um,
got some really interesting and I think the term you used is kind of heartwarming comments this week.
yeah, yeah. And some of them were understandably a little smartass. There's always a few of those peppered in there, and I always include them because why not? I'm a bit of a smartass. I can dig it. So the question that I put on Facebook was, if you believe there is a home beyond this life we're living here on Earth, what is it like? And Jeff was very quick to say New Jersey. He didn't qualify that at all. And then I said something to the effect of like, oh, well, some parts of New Jersey are really nice. And I actually gotten a little bit of trouble for saying that. Somebody did not like that. I won't say who. And it didn't get like out of hand or anything, but I did apologize. I'm like, I didn't mean to offend anybody. People who love New Jersey love New Jersey. I will say that. Like, really, really defensive of New Jersey. And the truth is, Tim, every time I've been to New Jersey, it's always been lovely. It's like, I'm so surprised at how lovely it is. How much, people talk a lot of shit about New Jersey. It's been quite a lovely place.
I know about as much about New Jersey as I do the afterlife, with direct knowledge. So
I just thought, what? I've been to New Jersey a handful of times, and it's lovely. It's lovely. But then Jimmy said, pure bliss and unending love. And I actually had a conversation with Jimmy about this kind of offline after this. It kind of prompted us to get to talking in the DMs or whatever. And it's really kind of where I'm at myself about things. Like, just there's a few of these that really kind of match up with where I'm at, and not all of them are the same. So it's sort of like, yeah, I can dig that, and then something else and be like, yeah, I dig that too. This was one I think you'll like a lot. Inside a sound wave. And I said to Anne Marie, what sound wave would you consider your home away from home? And she said, the sound of water running through a creek. And I told her that anytime I hear water running in a creek, I would think of her, because I thought I think I will. I think that's the truth. And I wanted to know, like, if what she's saying is true, and it's a lovely thought, I think that anytime somebody hears an accordion in the streets of Paris, I'm in there. That's me. What about you?
it kind of makes me think of, like the all of creation being hummed into existence, and that way maybe we're all inside a sound wave, even in this version of our reality too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Food for
Yeah.
thought, Anne Marie. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Anne Marie is one of the wise ones. No lie. Now, we've got a really cool comment here, and I want to give a little background. We have hubs, and our soul clusters orbit around each other. We guide our living from there. The brave souls return for another round. Being human is hard. And then she goes on to further say, Cheyenne, I've heard it's harder to be born than it is to die. So that is a really strong commentary on this home beyond, that it's easier to return to it than it is, and it's harder to leave it. So food for thought there. And Cheyenne, I won't say too much more about Cheyenne, but she knows what she's talking about. And Jane says, the soul's endless exploration of and journey into love. I'm into that. Sort of like what Jimmy said. And I'm really into that. That sounds really lovely. And this one was in the form of a question. Gabby says, what if our soul goes exactly to the place we believe we would go to while we were in this dimension? I think that's lovely to think about. It's sort of like ties into a lot of my own beliefs about manifesting, like really believing and feeling into what it is you want in this world, and not being too afraid that you won't have it, because then you'll manifest that sort of thing. So it is a lovely question. And anytime we're discussing wisdom and we're putting question marks into things, I think we're getting closer to the truth. Just leaving the question mark at the end of things. Or just being like, we got a two-parter here. Jill says, very much so. I believe that since energy is constant, when our body doesn't use it anymore, it remains in a different way. I'm not sure how much willpower this energy retains, but I would like to think we can go with other familiar energies. We will be talking a lot about that today. Aaron says, it's non-physical and eternal. I kind of think he's right. He could be right. And then we've got kind of a conversation. I had to include this. I'll try to jam through this really fast. But what Jack says, I've come to imagine that this is the process of dying. I'll be in a dreamlike state where I get to reward or punish myself for what seems like an indefinite period of time. And eventually my consciousness will allow itself to dissipate back into raw energy without ego or self-awareness, which is similar to what Jill was saying. And then he says, what I want to happen, though, is to wake up in a fantastical otherworldly environment populated by magical creatures and people I've loved, so we can live sensually ever after. And then Aaron agrees, yeah, that sounds about right. Lots of barbecue, dogs, and good booze, and no hangover ever. And then Jack says, and butts. There's got to be butts in the afterlife. Bet you thought I wasn't going to include that, Jack. But, Aaron agreed. There's got to be some butts in the afterlife. And I got to say, I, I really hope they're right. Butts are pretty great. I like butts. I cannot lie. You other people, you can't deny. You can't deny. When a girl walks into the afterlife, just kidding, I'll stop there.
All right, we're going to devolve this conversation real quick on that one.
So, that's the commentary for today. And I just want to add to that before we dive into Tim's hypnotic meditation, that this is based on a conversation. This episode was inspired by a conversation that you and I were having, Tim, not that long ago. And it was about soul family, to the extent where we could have even titled this show Soul Family and it would be the exact same show. See, I think Bear is laughing here probably about the butts. Yeah, butts are funny. And so is my anaconda. So anyway, what I was saying was the idea of soul family is that we have this kind of cluster of souls. Somebody else mentioned that, Cheyenne, this cluster of souls that have a hub, and that we form a bit of a family in this home beyond. And then we make certain agreements about, like, if we go live a life on earth and take up a human body or an animal body of some sort, what type of purpose we will have, what type of message we have to deliver. And also, I think we make certain agreements within that hub or that family to meet up with one another as soon as we can. And I don't know if everybody watching this is going to have that same experience, like where they definitely met somebody in their life that wasn't part of their physical, like, human family that just instantly felt like home to them. But I know that's true for us, Tim and I. And we met when we were little kids, and we've been friends ever since. And we've had this connection that I look back on, and I remember even being a little kid saying, like, yeah, this one gets me. This person understands where I'm coming from. And he felt the same way. And in many ways, we didn't exactly, it's not that we didn't fit in with the other kids in our class. It's just that we were very different for most kids, I would say, in our class. And I think that a lot of people that feel this way about, like, the idea of a soul family tend to also feel that they're just a bit different from most people they know. And I think, and this is kind of the feeling, there's a couple different things I think about this, the feelings I have or ideas that I have about this idea, about this concept. I really feel that when we make agreements among this family in this hub, I love that word that Cheyenne gave us. I really feel strongly that we make an agreement to meet each other as soon as possible. Like, I will find you as soon as I can. And to me, at least in my experience, the reason I feel this way is because I feel like I met a lot of those, like, really early on in life, you being among the first. And then throughout life, it's kind of dissipated. Like, I feel like I meet people less and less that are like, yeah, you're part of my soul family. It happens still to this day. But there was a quote from a movie called, it's called After Sunset or After Sunrise. Or Before Sunrise or Before Sunset. That's the movie. And it has Julie Delpy and that mopey guy with the shaggy hair. You know the movies where they take place in Europe. Oh, anyway, it's a really beautiful, beautiful movie. And he says to her, like, I just feel like, or she says to him, I feel like you meet somebody special when you're young and you think this is going to happen all the time. And then the older you get, the less you realize that's true. Like, the special people you meet in life, you can meet special people throughout your life, even in your old age and in your elderly life. But it does feel to me like we meet them less and less. And the reason why is I think maybe we make this agreement, or I made this agreement in my home beyond with everybody to be like, let's find each other as soon as possible. And I've had a lot of people in my life that I've stayed close with for years, for decades, for that reason. The other thing, because I said there were two things. The other thing I wanted to say was that there is a strong inclination, as far as I'm concerned, and Tim, I think you agree, that our subconscious is our portal to whatever this home is beyond. And our subconscious provides our dream state. It provides the world we inhabit when we go to sleep at night. And it also provides us opportunities to connect with one another. A lot of beliefs say that our subconscious is the vestigial mind state that once connected us telepathically with the members of our tribes and in our ancestry. So, like before a hunt and things like that, just discovering where the animals were, even being able to connect to those animals. So, the subconscious to me is really the only semblance of any idea of what this home beyond could be like. And I think the dream state is a taste. I don't think it's the home beyond, but I definitely think it's a taste. And that is what I'm operating off of today. Now, Tim, you bring people into subconscious states through meditation. How do you feel that definition matches up with like the hypnotic state, for example?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that it is sort of a portal to not only other times in our own life here, our subconscious mind to the just sort of the psychic field, if you will. And I think that there is a link here. I think the only way, if you believe in sort of this multidimensional, this is one that we're here right now on this show, in this body. This is one aspect of our being. We might be having experiences in other time frames, dimensions, who knows, right? But I think that our subconscious mind can connect us to that too. And if all that's true, then I think our subconscious mind also connects us to our superconscious, which could be our soul, which might hold of all of our lifetimes. So I think it's the closest thing we have beyond our senses, which are inherently limited in this physical reality, to get even an inkling of this home beyond. Whatever this is we're talking about here, right? Spiritual home beyond.
Yeah. Well, I think that ties in perfectly with the hypnotic meditation you have prepared for us today. I know it's a bit deeper than usual, so I'll let you get right to it. I won't delay on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also just kind of want to mention too that I was really introduced to this way of thinking our home beyond. I think we all have a sense of it. We grow up in different, we're in different belief environments where we are told certain things, Judeo, things like this. But I read this book, Journey of Souls by Michael Newton, and if you're interested in this kind of stuff, it's absolutely fascinating. He is a hypnotherapist who takes people to their life, and the accounts are all so similar. They all certainly resonate with each other, and kind of like you hear about near-death experiences, where there's a lot of similar accounts, right? But I would recommend this book if you guys are interested in this stuff, and it's so similar to the point where the skeptical side of my brain is like, wow, is this right? But this is this guy's life work. So found it very interesting. But in the process of reading this book, I myself had a experience in self-hypnosis where I do think I had, just the slightest glimpse into what this might be like. And it had me thinking, if anybody else on this call has had a similar experience of this, you probably understand what I'm saying, where we can't sense it, but sometimes we have these experiences where something deep inside of us has a bit of a knowing about this kind of thing. And that was one of those, after reading this book and hearing these accounts of these people and their experiences and their life between lives, their planning stage, their spiritual home, their home beyond before incarnating into this body. Of course, everybody has different beliefs about this, right? But the sense that we can get of it, if we can have a direct experience, and this might, like I mentioned earlier, it might come in the form of, if you all have had loved ones who have passed, probably almost everyone who has can relay even just the hint. It might be beyond words, but we might have had an experience where we do sense on some level that there's a connection there, right? And maybe not that
Yeah.
they're with us, but
I had somebody in the last week, knowing that this was our topic this week, mentioned to me that they had an experience with a psychoactive substance called DMT that really gave them a strong sense of this idea of a home beyond, but like that they had never ever encountered before. And it made them so resolute in this belief that they just felt, and they did this substance multiple times, and that it was just something that really offered this truth to them so clearly that they couldn't deny it.
right. And this, what we're talking about here, it is ineffable, right? It's hard to even put words on this when we, but I think the thing to remember here is that everything in our experience is sort of filtered through our minds and our perceptions, not only our perceptions by our senses, but below that. It's filtered through our minds, through the subconscious mind. And I think that a lot of these accounts that I read about in this book, they're really fairly earthly seeming experiences. And I think that that is how this knowing is translated into our minds in this body. It's kind of based on what we know, right? But anyway, it was a very powerful experience for me. And if anybody else has had an experience like that, I think you can probably attest to how powerful that is. And certainly DMT is powerful enough to jolt an awareness of this. And I think other religions, people can have religious experiences that also help them tune into what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But for this hypnotic meditation today, I do want to, regardless of your past experience, I do want to basically help to, I think what I've done for myself with my experience is I try to stabilize that experience and, what that felt like. And, it feels really true to me personally. So if y'all have had experience like this in the past, I want to kind of piggyback on that today with the hypnotic meditation. And even if you haven't had an experience like this, perhaps you'll have a slight glimpse through this hypnotic meditation as well. So this will be a shorter one here. I do want to try to go as deep as we can on this, but also mentioning that anytime I do this type of work with people, this is usually a pretty in-depth type of hypnosis session, right? So we're just going to really scratch the surface here, but I think that that's all it takes to get a feel for it. So go ahead and relax into a comfortable position if you'd like to participate in this hypnotic meditation with me. And go ahead and just get comfortable, settle into a place where you can relax safely and comfortably for a few minutes here. Uncross your legs, unclasp your hands, get into a seated or lying down position where, as April so aptly put it, if gravity all of a sudden vanished, you'd be able to float right there in the exact position that you're in. Just take a moment to settle in, and like for you to start by finding a spot above your natural eye gaze, kind of upturned eyes. Find a spot right there that you can really focus on. And as you take a deep breath and really eat the little detail of that spot, as you exhale, look through that spot, engaging our peripheral vision. You might notice the corners of the room. And when you're ready, just go ahead and gently close your eyes. And I'd like you to send a wave of relaxation from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes now. 1, 2, 3. All the small muscles of your face, let your eyelids just rest comfortably. All the muscles of your face relaxing, nothing to do right now except just this, listening to my voice and relaxing. And as your body relaxes further, your mind relaxes further, your jaw relaxes. Start to slow your rate of breathing, get into a nice, comfortable rate of breathing with a really long exhalation. Good. Taking another deep breath. Once again, send a wave of relaxation from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your head. 1, 2, 3. And with each breath, you sink even deeper into a state of calm and tranquility. And as your body relaxes more, if there's any part of your body that relaxes and to relax even more right now, just give it permission to release. Drop any tension right now. Good. A comfortable, slow rate of breathing. Take your attention to the feeling of the surface pushing up into your back, a sense of gravity gently holding you close to the earth. And as you focus on this sensation, you feel even more and more in. As you take a deep breath in, you send that awareness down, down, deeper into the earth now, grounded and supported all the way down to the very center of the earth. Now that awareness stage, you go even more deeply and even more comfortably relaxed. You're in harmony with the pulse of the planet now, and you send this feeling of relaxation, this feeling of being nurtured by earth and life itself, from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Once again, 1, 2, 3. And as you take in another deep breath, I'd like you to now take your awareness up into the heavens above and allow your awareness to reach upward into the universe, as far into the universe as you would like to go, up, 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 into the heavenly realm of inspiration and insight. Call in now your higher power, whatever that is to you, and all the loving guidance of your spiritual allies. Good. And know that an all-encompassing love fills you and your environment, and that you are deeply, deeply loved. And as you bring your awareness back down, down into your body, bringing that energy of inspiration with you, let the grounded, nurturing energy of the earth and the wisdom and clarity of the divine commingle in this balance point of your heart. So you feel at once grounded and settled, and calm, comfortably relaxed, and open to inspiration, blessed with the bounty of life. Now imagine a warm golden light now surrounding your body. And as you notice this warm golden light, it's filling you with a sense of even deeper peace and tranquility. Feel this light washing away any other tension or stress in your body, leaving you in a state of pure, deep relaxation now. Breathing comfortably, slowly. Now visualize yourself standing in a beautiful, serene garden. And this garden represents your inner world. This is a place where you can connect with your soul and access the wisdom of all of your lifetimes. Now take a moment to explore this garden, noticing everything around you. This is your inner world. It can be anything you want. You notice a peaceful path now, leading you deeper into the heart of this garden. So you start to follow this path with curiosity, keeping an open heart here. And this is your own inner world, so you feel safe and protected, knowing that your higher power, Your own soul is guiding you every step of the way as you walk. And you become aware now, as you get closer to the very heart of this garden, a brilliant light shining in the distance. The light's coming from a source of pure wisdom and love. This is your soul, the eternal essence that holds the knowledge and wisdom of all of your lifetimes and incarnations. Now this light's coming closer and closer. Allow this radiant light to merge now with you. And you feel this warm, loving sense wash over your whole entire being. Feel oneness and unity with this white light as you become one with your soul, the eternal part of you that transcends time and space. With this white light, there's something very important that needs to come through now from your own soul. Just take a moment in silence, feeling this sense of oneness and unity with this white light. Words that need to be said, notice now in your own mind, from your own soul to you in this lifetime. Whatever comes, taking a deep breath. And if nothing comes up for you right now, that's exactly right too. Just focus in on this warm, safe feeling of oneness. You are surrounded by an all-encompassing love. Probably feels really good to your body right now. Nothing to do. And in a moment, I'm going to count from 3 back to 1. And I'd like for you to keep this feeling of being one with this living, brilliant light throughout the rest of the day and as long as you would like. 3, feeling what that feels like in your body right now. Tune into what that right now. Perhaps something came through that's really important for you today, and know that you will always remember what came through right now in this hypnotic meditation. 2, once again, bringing your awareness to the surface beneath you now, and as you do, this stabilizes this feeling in your body. It's familiar. And know that you can regain an experience of this relaxing, taking some time to relax your body and relax your mind just like this. And 1, slowly opening your eyes back here on Subconscious Sundays with April and me. And thank you for joining me in this short hypnotic meditation. I hope that it was, at the very least, felt really good to connect in this way.
Thank you so much. This is one of the times I got to go through it the whole time. And I did come back with something.
Awesome.
And
That's
it
great.
was,
And I want to encourage everybody, whatever came through in this to you, whether it was just a feeling or whether there was a specific message, this is the nature of the subconscious. It's just allow whatever comes up to come up and bring conscious awareness to it. And you can take that with you. So I hope that you all do this week.
do you want to hear what mine was?
Yes.
It was like, for lack of a better pronoun, their love never leaves you, or your love never left me. And it was a message kind of to and from the people in my life who have passed on to me between us. It was like
Awesome.
the love never left us, the love we experienced between each other. So that was really lovely. And obviously, I'm a little wobbly. But that was gorgeous. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm glad I hope everybody else had an experience like this, where You might have had this in the past too, but there is a sense of knowing here that's powerful, and it might move you. You might even feel a little bit emotional about it, but just know, and I found this really helpful for myself. You can contact that feeling, this energy. You can contact that at any time and utilize that in your life. And there's lots of different ways to do that, even if it's just through the power of our subconscious mind, conjuring the feeling in your body and connecting in with that. And I think this is part of the practice of integrating these levels of our consciousness.
Beautiful. Well, before I sign off and before we say goodbye, I just want to remind all of you that this type of work is available to you and it's really easy to do. In the description of every one of our episodes on YouTube, we have a link where you can book time to talk with Tim and get an idea of what it'd be like to experience hypnotic therapies on a regular basis with him. And I have a link as well. I offer spiritual guidance and counseling. So I'm more of the talk things out kind of process. And Tim is more of the diving deep into the hypnotic sense of the subconscious, the hypnotic levels of your subconscious. So um, there's
I
obviously
want
a
to
little
add
bit,
here too that
yeah,
April's got some amazing tools to connect you to deeper to your subconscious mind.
yeah.
Tools that I definitely do not have, and it's a whole different angle on it, and they've been really powerful for me. So I just wanted to mention that in the work that I've
Oh,
done
yeah.
with you, April.
Because I do a lot of dream work and dream interpretation, and that is something that has been with me for years and years that I've brought into this counseling ability. So my link is in there as well. You can work with either of us or both of us, but you need to use those links to book a free, no obligation session with us just to introduce yourself to our work. It would be completely one-on-one and confidential, and you would be meeting with either one of us face to face. So we look forward to hearing from you on that and working with you if that's your jam. And for the time being, we will say goodbye and we will see you next week. Thank you for being with us today.